Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to make the Audrey II plant from the Little Shop of Horrors movie. So I'm going to start off by making the tin. This vintage tin is the same dimensions, so I'll trace around it. If you cut it free-handed like me, don't worry about being a perfect circle, because we can correct that later. I use the Dremel to smooth out the edges and try and make the circle as perfect as possible. This tin is supposed to be old and battered, so it doesn't matter if it's not perfect. And now I need to cut out the side of the tin. Now because I don't have a piece of PVC long enough, I have to cut two sections and glue them together. I find the gel based super glue does the job just right. I then scored in 3 sets of grooves around the tin. This isn't going to match the one from the film, but it can be a similar sort of style. Using a narrow file, I help widen those grooves. Off camera I heat up the long piece of plastic and wrap it around the base. Once it cools and retains its shape, I repeat the process and refine it. Once I get it somewhere near, I mark out where I need to cut. It's still a little bit wonky, but that mostly fits. So I'll glue the two halves together, then hold it in place until it takes hold. I push the base into place, then hold it together with several pieces of masking tape. And this allows me to glue it into place with super glue. And once the tape has been removed, I can check it over. Some of the edges are slightly overlapped, so they need sanding and filing. I also use the file where the grooves are to make sure they're lined up. And that's looking about right. It's supposed to be an old tin, so it should look a little beat up. I'm going to mark out and cut out this piece of foam. This will be used as an insert and act as a layer of soil. I'm not going to push it in all the way yet, but I just need to make sure it fits. Using the Dremel, I'll make a random uneven pattern. So when painted, this should look like soil. And now it's time to make the mouth of the plant. And I use the same foam for this. And using a knife and a Dremel, I round it out a bit more. That's looking better. Using these foam sheets, I'm going to add a couple of extra details. I'm going to add a lip and extend the height a little bit. Off camera, I'm going to heat up this foam sheet and push it around the head. And once it's cooled down, it should retain most of its shape. This will make it much easier to glue into place. And just to make things easier still, I'll trim off some of the excess. Then it's a matter of applying contact cement to both surfaces. once those are dry, they can be pushed together. It's a tricky process trying to wrap it around because it desperately does not want to conform to that shape. But I persevere and cut off the excess once I'm done. And once those are done, you should have a basic head shape. And with a Sharpie I mark on the patterns. With my wood burner I carve out those patterns. The underside pattern has a different design to the top one. I'm going to use this plastic pipe as a stalk, but first I need to bend it. Off camera I gave it a blast with a heat gun, so I just need to hold it into shape until it cools down. And then it will retain its shape. Now I just need to dig it into the foam. Using contact cement, I glue the two halves of the head together. As you may have noticed, I only glue the back end together. This way it leaves the mouth slightly open. Then at the back I drill a hole where the stalk's going to go. And then out of 1mm foam I draw out the leaves and then cut them out. And using the wood burning tool I carve in all the detail. Off camera I use the heat gun to curve all the leaves to make them look a little bit more natural. And before we start painting I do dry assembly. And this is a rough idea how it will look once it's all assembled. And now to add on a layer of primer, provided I don't blow everything away. For the tin, I apply some rub and buff to a cloth and rub it all over. And while that's drying, I dry brush on some brown for the dirt. And then I crack on with painting the leaves green. And then I add orange rust all over the whole tin. And then on top of that I add some dark brown rust. And I also add a variety of weathering powders to the tin to help add to the age. And then that's the tin complete. Then I can seal in all that paint. can start painting the head of the plant. And then I add different shades of greens and purples to help flesh it out. As well as adding a wash into all the recessed areas. And now I can apply the sealer to the head as well. And now I can start the final assembly. Some of these pieces will fit on with friction alone, and others will need some glue. And then I just leave it overnight to set. Now this guy is done and ready for display. I wonder what it feeds on. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, if I can do it, so can you.